Hello, can you hear me?
No.
Okay, good. So, yesterday, while I was working, it is kids. It is kids that just don't care who they're talking in front of or what they're talking about. This kid gets in my car, and he's got to be in high school also. The first thing he says to me is, "I'm gonna go get some ass."
Oh. Oh
Yeah,
my.
I was like, "Really, bro? Like, I mean, okay, cool, good for you, I guess." And then he's like, yeah, this girl, like, I'm just gonna get over there and get out pretty quick because I'm tired and I need to go to sleep.
What the fuck?
And I was like, how old are you, bro? Like, you sound like you're 40.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then he gets on the phone with his friend, and this is how I knew they were in high school, because he gets on the phone with his friend and he starts talking about how they really like Skinny Pop, and he had been sleeping on Skinny popcorn
Yeah.
until he had seen some girls bring it to school earlier this year. And I was like, what a weird fucking conversation for you to be having in my back seat. Anyway,
Skinny Pop popcorn though. It hits the spot sometimes.
I don't know anything about the bag stuff that you get from the stores and stuff. I only eat popcorn when I'm at the theater.
Oh really?
Yeah.
We usually eat at the house. We usually have like a whole box of Act One popcorn or Act Two.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember, but they're in brown
Active full
bags.
popcorn.
Oh, and I tried this new popcorn that I really, really like. It's part of a project that the sophomores did this year where they had to present something they were passionate about, and one of these kids presented popcorn.
Nice.
It was the Joe Jonas brand popcorn, and he had all the flavors of
Like
popcorn.
Joe Jonas from Jonas Brothers, Joe Jonas.
Yes. So apparently he's got a popcorn out.
I had no idea.
I didn't either until I tried some. I tried some of his sweet and salty popcorn, and it was yummy.
All right. I will not be trying it. I don't like sweet popcorn anyway.
I'm not a giant fan of sweet popcorn, but that one was yummy.
I take that back. There is one. I don't even think that the company makes this particular flavor anymore. But when
Yeah.
I was working for Blockbuster, back in the olden times, we had Popcornopolis, which were these like conical bags of like gourmet popcorn, and they made a cinnamon bun flavor that was so good. It was diabetes in a bag.
That sounds yummy. So I like
It
buttery
really
cinnamon
was.
buns, even though I'm
Oh,
allergic.
yeah, I know. It's unfortunate for you because cinnamon's so delicious.
It is. I used to love buttery cinnamon buns. The best.
Uh-huh. Oh, I wanted to tell you about this because this doesn't necessarily pertain to dreams, but it
Okay.
does pertain to sleep. I saw an article this evening where they have induced a torpor state in rats using sound waves. And torpor is like almost a deeper version of hibernation,
Okay.
to the point where it slows your metabolism and it also slows your heart rate, and you can go from like breathing several times in a minute to maybe taking one or two breaths an hour. You know what I mean?
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they've managed to do it in rats using sound waves. And now they're thinking that they might be able to do it to humans for things like catastrophic injuries and things like that, where people need to be placed into comas or medically induced comas, or even if there's like a bleed that someone has that usually like is very time sensitive. If they
Right.
can induce that like torpor state, then they have more time to fix the issue and save the person's life.
That's pretty cool.
They also went at it from like a real sci-fi angle and were like, and it could be used to make people like go to sleep on long spaceship journeys if they need to go to different planets later, down the line.
Here we
And I
go.
was like, oh, okay.
Here we go.
So cryopods yet.
We're a step away from that.
Yeah. I thought it was really interesting, and I was like, I wonder if that completely suspends dreams, because they say that it like suspends most brain function as well. Your brain barely works at that point. So I would imagine that you don't really dream in that state.
Who knows? Only the rats.
Yeah. And they're not talking.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Yeah, yet. Yeah. Science is getting there.
Yeah.
Every day I feel like I read an article where it's something that used to be sci-fi, and I'm like,
Yeah.
are you motherfuckers just making shit up? Like, the article that I read where I was like, okay, this is bullshit. Like, this didn't happen. The title of it just said, scientists discover time crystals by using quantum computer.
No.
And I was like, what the fuck are time crystals? What in the Marvel fucking cinematic universe is this bullshit?
Oh, man, yeah, that does not sound like something real.
Yeah, straight up. Like, somebody made that shit up. But then I started reading the article, and I was like, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ready to get into it?
Yep.
All right, hit them with the intro then.
Welcome to What Am Dreams? I am one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with
Dustin.
And we're here to talk to you about dreams. Dreams, dreams, dreams.
That's going to be our new intro song. It's just you going, dreams, dreams, dreams.
Yep. There are 3 very particular notes that I'm going to copyright.
I'm gonna put a little music behind it.
Harp music?
I mean, if you want harp music, I suppose.
Wait. It either had to be saxophone, piano, or guitar.
I mean, I could find a harp and or you know what? I could use a synthesizer and figure out harp noise.
Yeah. Oh, or get one of those things. I don't know what they're called, but they're like phantom instruments. You know what I'm talking about? Where you just hold your hand above it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like diddle it in the air. And then like
don't say diddle. Don't say diddle.
And then it goes whenever you diddle it.
Oh dear Lord. Okay. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm not sure what it's called.
Is that even real? I don't know.
Yes. I've seen people actually use it.
Okay. Yeah, you need to get one of those.
They're probably expensive as hell though. It's like they got that one antenna that sticks up and like you have to hold your hand near that and then hold another hand out over the other part.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you have any dreams this week that you'd like to talk about?
I sure did. I had a dream. Okay. It was either last night or the night before. But I've been having a lot of dreams and I don't really remember when they happened. But anyways, that doesn't matter. So I dreamt that I was walking through a city after having brunch, which is funny because I'm going to have brunch today with my English 1 team. So I guess it's just in the back of my mind because it's been planned for the past month or so that we were going to go today.
It's probably best that you leave Nesto at home because he hates brunch.
Oh yeah, he's not going. He would absolutely hate it because not only is it brunch, but also it's a bunch of teacher friends of mine And he'd feel so out of place. But anyways, so I was walking through the city. It was after brunch, and I come upon this building that has like two dragon arches, one on one side and one on the other side. Okay. And
Okay.
I think Ernesto was walking with me. And I was kind of trying to sneak into this building to see what it was all about because I think he wanted to go somewhere else. And I was like, I want to look at this building in particular. Because of the dragon arches, man. Who wouldn't want to see dragon arches?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I went inside and it's this huge. Why do I keep having like warehouse sized dreams? Okay, I want to say banquet hall. It was
Okay.
like the size of a banquet hall. And there were large, long tables just full of people playing D&D.
Oh,
Yeah, it was one of those places.
nice.
And I think it was like a shop as well, but I didn't see anything for sale. There was just a bunch of tables and people. And come to find out, for some reason, the dragon arches were scanners that scanned who you were. And I think we were on the run or something because we were very worried about being scanned and found out.
Okay.
We ended up leaving and walking through more of the city. And that's all I recall.
Okay.
The dragon arches.
There is, I think it's a train station down in Waxahachie that has two little dragon statues on either side of an archway. I took a photo of it, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you making this up?
No, it's a pretty neat little place. It's real small, though.
You have to send it to me.
Okay, I will. So, I had a dream yesterday morning that I know exactly what happened, why I had this dream. And it's because I've been watching Boy Meets World again. Because I've been listening to the podcast that they just started.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to catch up on the episodes. So I started looking at the different episodes and I was watching it and I fell asleep watching it. Well, in my dream, I was in Mr. Feeney's classroom. If you don't know, Mr. Feeney is the teacher that stays for the entire 7 seasons of Boy Meets World.
Okay.
And he's the reason a lot of young kids became teachers, after the 2000s.
That's
Anyway,
cute.
I'm sitting there and this girl starts talking about her dad. And she starts talking about her dad's not taking his medication. And Mr. Feeney starts chastising her for being like, well, are you making sure he's taking his medication? Why aren't you helping to make sure he's taking his medication? And then I started defending her and I started yelling at Mr. Feeney, which is not a thing you should do. But I started yelling and I was like, no, look, Mr. Feeney, I love you and I respect you, but listen, you can't blame the child for the actions of the adult. And he was looking at me all stunned, and then I woke up.
I mean, you speak the truth.
Yeah, I don't know why that particular phrase was in my head, but I do know that the reason Mr. Feeney was in my dream was because of Boy Meets World. And of course, when I woke up, Boy Meets World was still on, so.
How you said it is so 90s.
What do you mean?
I love you, but you can't. You sound so sitcom. So 90s sitcom.
It was a sitcom.
Yeah. Was there a laugh track?
It was a good sitcom. They had a live studio audience, but they also did have a laugh track. All shows did.
I mean, in your dream.
Oh, no, there was no laugh track in my dream.
Oh. Wouldn't that be weird?
Well, it would be weird, especially because it was like a super serious scene in my dream. I was being super loud and when I say yelling, I mean yelling. I don't even think you've ever seen me yell like that, because typically I'm a pretty laid back guy. But like yelling to the point where like my voice would be sore if I really yelled like this.
Huh. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were really worked up about it.
Yeah. Apparently I was pretty upset with Mr. Feeney.
Yeah, Dream, you won't stand for this.
No. And I stand on principle. So what other dreams did you have this week?
I haven't had one. Well, I've had a lot, but I was going to tell you about this one that I remember since I was walking through a city in this one that I had this week. It reminded me of another dream that I had where I was walking through a city, and it was like a bright sunny day, and the city was crowded. I remember walking past giant statues of figures who I don't remember. And I remember getting all the way to a bridge. So I had walked a good length of the city already. And I got to a bridge. It was like large and like
Good
Golden Gate
description
Bridge
so far.
size. Like Golden Gate Bridge. That big. Huge.
Oh, okay.
And it was white. And I tried to cross it. Okay. People were also trying to cross it. But we had to wait for it to move up or move down or whatever the fuck it does in uh, real life to let boats pass through.
Yeah.
Oh, not the Golden Gate, but other bridges.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, like the Tower Bridge or whatever it is in London that does it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I fell. So I was on that thing when it was going up or going down, one of the two. And I fell into the water.
Oh, you and water. All right.
But it was a long, like the dream. I don't know what it is about water, but anyways, in the dream, it was a long, tense time of me trying to hold on to this bridge and trying not to fall.
I'm imagining it, and it's funny.
You're so funny. The dream ended. I don't remember anything past falling, so I must have died.
That's so abrupt. I must have died.
Man, and walking through a city past statues, that reminds me of another weird dream that I had a long time ago of walking past statues. And it was in like, I want to say ancient city.
Okay.
And I was trying to get somewhere for these kids. I think I was trying to save some kids.
Well, you know how I feel about that. Fuck them kids.
There were a lot of kids running around in this ancient city. I want to say like it was giving ancient Egypt vibes. Oh no, I said vibes. It's fine. I'm old.
You're so old.
I don't know what my goal was in that dream, but I definitely had a goal because I was determined and I was walking through this city, exploring it, trying to find a place for these kids. I ended up finding a place where a bunch of other little kids who were, I guess, also orphans playing some sort of game with the ball.
Wait, how do you know they were orphans? Did you kill their parents?
No, they just have any.
Are you sure?
I'm
That's an
pretty
awfully
sure.
big assumption to make.
Maybe I kidnapped them. That'd be bad. An accidental
Anyway,
kidnapping.
yeah.
Oh, have you seen that one video of this lady who's in a car with her husband and she had just gotten something done, some procedure done in her mouth, so she was loopy.
Yeah.
And they were they were like four kids in the back of their car. He's like,
Yeah.
we're taking these kids. She's like, no, we gotta take them back. Take them back. And he's like,
Yeah, shit cracks me up every time.
She's like, I don't even know these kids. She's like, that was not mine. That was definitely not
She's
mine.
Yeah, doesn't
That
look
was
anything
good.
like me. Yeah.
And he had the audacity to ask her which one, and she points to the little girl, and then she starts crying, and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?"
Uh,
Oh my god, we gotta take it back.
that shit was funny though. I laugh
Yeah,
so hard at that video every time I watch it.
it's terrible.
Especially when the little girl starts crying, that makes me laugh so hard. It's just like, stupid.
The little girl's traumatized, poor baby.
She'll be fine. I think they actually posted a video right after that where like they were together and she was laughing. She's fine. Did you finish that dream about the kids? We got off on a tangent.
Yeah, I said I found a place for them where other little kids were playing with the ball. It was like near some big wall. All
Hmm.
I remember is a big brown maze of a wall.
Like Maze Runner.
Yeah, it was strange.
Interesting. You know, it would be so cool if we could like take the dreams that we have in our mind and like have them visually represented somewhere.
Yep, like projecting them.
Yeah. Because then
That'd be
like you could be
very
like,
cool.
look, this is exactly what I saw. You know.
Exactly.
And of course, you'd have to delete some of them. No, you can't watch this.
It sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But like I was just thinking about it because I'm like picturing what you're describing in my head, and I don't know if it's what you saw, but what I saw is pretty cool. And I was like, I think that would be a pretty cool set piece for a movie.
Yep.
I think in
I would
terms of
want
film all the time.
I would want the ability to watch my dreams like that, like projected, but also
Yeah.
I'd be scared
Why?
just of the possibilities.
Well, I mean, you get to review them before anybody else sees them, so.
Yeah, for now,
Uh,
won't be long for it's
um,
like the government's intellectual property.
who knows? Maybe Neuralink will do something like that.
Yeah. That gives me the
I don't know.
creeps.
I like the idea behind Neuralink, the new Elon Musk endeavor.
Oh, I have no idea what that is about.
Oh, so they take a little thing and they install it into your brain. This is all in clinical trials right now, so it's not, mass available. They install this thing in your brain. It's a little bitty thing that sticks out a little bit, and it sends wireless signals to another one for paraplegics and quadriplegics and things like that. What it'll do is you install another one in the muscle groups that have been paralyzed, and it can
Yeah.
send a wireless signal to those muscle groups to move again. So it bypasses whatever your spinal injury is.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's a cool idea in theory, but also then I started thinking about like, well, what if someone were to, I don't know, hack you and then make you walk
Oh,
somewhere into a bank?
that would be freaky.
Yeah. Suddenly you're walking into the ocean because somebody wanted you to die. You know what I mean?
Yep, that'd make for a sci-fi show.
Well, it was kind of already a sci-fi movie. I cannot remember the name of that movie. It was called Upgrade. That's what it was called.
Huh.
Yeah. It came out like 10-ish years ago, something like that.
Okay.
It wasn't great. It was interesting to watch, but it wasn't great.
Oh,
I wanted to talk about another dream that I had, though,
okay.
which didn't make a whole lot of sense, honestly. So, all right, I had a dream that I was watching American Pie 2
Okay.
with my sister, apparently. It got to the scene where Jim, do you remember American Pie 2?
No,
Do you remember American Pie series at all?
vaguely.
Okay, well, Jim is the character Jason Biggs is playing.
Okay.
He gets mistaken for Petey, who is supposed to be a trombone player at band camp. And so it gets to the scene where he gets mistaken for Petey. He sucks at the trombone. And I started laughing that he was grabbing the slide for the trombone with his whole fist instead of with just like a couple of fingers, because that's how you're supposed to play it. My sister used to play trombone. That's why that part is important. So I was like, aren't you only supposed to use like the two fingers or just the one? And she was like, yeah. And then I started playing trombone, and I was playing really good, and I was showing off for my friend Mitchell, who also was there, who I haven't talked to in probably 20 years. And then I woke up.
Check me out, Mitchell.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, cool, man. Look at how good I am at trombone.
Didn't you have a trombone
My
dream
sister
when you
does.
were being chased?
Oh, no, it wasn't me. So that was a dream that I wasn't even in. I had a dream that some girl had to play the trombone really well to stop this monster.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know what the deal is with the trombone now, but
right. And have you watched American Pie recently?
I watched someone react to American Pie 1 and 2.
Oh,
So that might have been why American Pie 2 was on my mind.
yeah.
Why Mitchell and my sister were both there, I don't know. It was funny, actually, when we used to live in Palestine, that's when Mitchell and I were friends. My sister used to take us into what was called dogwood trails, and it was these really tight, windy roads in the middle of the woods. It was supposed to be like a nature thing. You just drive through nature and you get to see like animals and things like that. Well, she would take us in the middle of the night at like 11:30 or midnight, and she would shut off the headlights and drive as fast as she could through these winding trails.
Oh boy.
I thought it was fantastic. But Mitchell tried to shit his pants, basically, every time.
How dare he?
She started doing donuts in this like middle area, and he crying, and it was really funny. Actually, it was
You
good
don't sound like
times.
you're a good friend to Mitchell. Scaring
I
the shit
didn't do
out of
it.
him.
I
Scared the
didn't
shit
do
out of
it.
him. Okay.
My sister did it. Speaking of, so my dad back then, I guess he was home alone with me and Mitchell. He got drunk and he got this stupid idea in his head. He took one of those black cat firecrackers,
Yeah.
you know, he went in the room behind the living room where we were, and all of a sudden we hear pow from the other room. And I kind of looked at Mitchell and he looked at me and he was like, "What was that?" And my dad stumbles out of that room and he's got red stuff all over his face
Oh
and
my
he's got a
gosh.
BB gun in his hand. And he goes, "I didn't know it was loaded." And then he falls to the ground. Mitchell is in tears. I know my dad, so I know that he's playing. And what he had done was he had smeared ketchup all over his face, lit the
Oh my God.
firecracker, came out to mess with us. I asked him about it later, and he said he stood in that room laughing to himself for 30 minutes before he could actually do it because he knew how funny it was going to be to him.
Oh my God. It sounds like your family just likes traumatizing Mitchell.
Well, it might explain why I haven't talked to him in about 20 years. It was good times, though. It was good times.
Sounds like it was good times for some people.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Oh, damn.
I have stories like that for days.
Stories of the olden times.
Yes, back in the days of yore.
I was going to tell you about this one dream that I remembered after talking about the ancient Egyptian dream.
Mhm.
Okay, so I was like exploring. I feel like it was like an open world exploration in a RPG
Okay.
in ancient times. Like I want to say ancient Greek, maybe.
Okay.
I was exploring over the land and I was looking for creatures. So I was just in a big open space, but it was like a rocky slash grassy area. And I was looking for creatures and I couldn't find them. Only I don't remember what kind of creatures I was looking for in particular. I just knew I was looking for something alive. And I couldn't exactly find them, but I always found traces of them.
Like
But
poo and stuff?
no, like I would see skittering in the corners of or in the cracks of rocky areas.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't find the actual creature. They were too elusive. Well, I stumbled upon a cavern that opens up. Once you go inside it, it's like huge. Again, like a warehouse size. No, I'm just kidding. It was huge and way larger than a warehouse. And there was a large gate, like a large man made, not gate, but ornate door that I had to solve to get through.
Okay.
I couldn't reach the door though because it was blocked by juts of rock and chasms. Chasm. Never mind. I was really
Okay,
trying to say it
Brandon.
right. I was really trying to say it right the first time. No,
All right.
chasm, and the chasms were filled with slimy, wormy snakes.
Oh,
Those weren't the creatures
and
I was looking for.
and you're sure this wasn't like an Assassin's Creed video game or something?
I know, right? It sounds like it is. The more I talk about it, the more I think, wow, this sounds like Assassin's Creed. But this is before I started playing Assassin's Creed several years ago. Once I got to the door, I figured out the puzzle somehow because I'm awesome, obviously. And I'm like the best explorer ever.
Yeah, obviously. Yes.
I'm
Regular Laura Croft over here.
yeah, Laura. I was gonna say Indiana Jones, but Laura Croft's cool too. And I open the door, and then there's this rush of water. It is water again. I don't remember anything after that. I think I died.
Bro, I can never go around water with you. Ever. Because I'm just afraid we're all going to drown. Somehow.
Nah.
And as we're dying, I'll blame you. Damn you, Tasha. But yeah, like a puzzle door like that seems like something out of a video game. Definitely is more Tomb Raider-ish.
Yeah.
Lara Croft and all that.
I haven't seen
You
that
have seen
movie.
what?
That one Angelina Jolie version of Tomb Raider? No, Laura Croft.
Yeah. It was Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the character was Lara Croft.
Oh.
From Tomb Raider. Did you ever play the video games? Tomb Raider?
Nope.
No, the video games are good, especially the new ones. I think they've got Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider are the two new ones. Of course, there's some old ones too.
Might have to check it out. Right now, I'm hung up Stardew Valley. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've got it downloaded. I haven't
Yes.
played it.
I'm way more addicted to it than I thought I would ever be because I took one look at it and I was like, might as well try it. And I was like, I cannot possibly like this that much. Because look at the graphics. I mean, I know it's supposed to look old, but damn,
Yeah.
I really don't like it. That's what I was thinking in my head. But I'm addicted to it now.
I really like the graphics on it because I like that old school style.
Yeah.
Almost Super NES or NES. The old games were fantastic for that.
It makes me want to download the old Zelda game.
I watched some of Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda game, and I really want to get that Switch, unfortunately. But I've been really getting into JRPGs lately.
What's the J?
Japanese.
Oh.
So like any of the Final Fantasy games, stuff like Dragon Quest. The last one I just played was Tales of Arise, which was really good.
Huh.
And there's Final Fantasy 16, which is unfortunately going to be a PlayStation exclusive for probably roughly around the first year that it's out. So
Oh. And what is your console of choice?
Xbox Series X.
Got it.
You're a PC gamer?
No, I've been playing on the Xbox One.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I'm terrible at keeping track of which console which console it is. It is an Xbox.
Yeah. I have the Xbox One X and the Series X because I never sold my One X when I got the Series X. And the reason
Yeah.
I didn't is because it's the launch edition, which is the Project Scorpio edition. And I'm super weird about, like, oh, but it's important, you know.
Yeah.
Although, as I get older, the more I want to move to like a minimalist lifestyle where I just want to get rid of everything.
Yeah. I was in a trash throwing mood these last days at school. Just cleaning out all my old shit and just throwing away a bunch of shit.
Oh, before we get to the actual end here, I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to Trevon. He did our podcast art now.
Yeah,
So he did fantastic work.
he did good work. Yes, I agree.
Super happy about it.
He's a young
If
and
anyone,
up and coming graphic designer.
yeah, if anyone wants anything done, like graphic design wise, hit him up on Instagram, Trevon_Lowe.
Lowe.
Yes, Trevon. So if you look him up by that, you should be able to find him on Instagram, see some of the things he's done. You can also just look at our podcast art now on all of our socials. I did have one other dream this week that I wrote down, but it was really short. It had something to do with gambling.
Gambling, I'm in.
Oh my God.
I'm not
No.
really in. I'm not really into gambling. It's a quote from a game.
Red Dragon Inn. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I wrote down of the dream. I had a dream that my mom was trying to get me to go with her to this underground casino thing because she knew that one of the machines was going to give out a huge payout, but I don't remember any of the details. That's what I wrote down.
Interesting.
Yeah. Apparently, she had some kind of inside information that one of the machines was going to pay out the jackpot that night. And she was like, come on, you got to go with me. I have never been to one of these underground casinos. I know they exist, but I've never been to one. And I know for a fact my mom hasn't. She goes to the real casino. She's like, I'm going to go to Oklahoma. Like, really? It's Thursday.
Nothing wrong with a little gambling on a Thursday.
No, we did that. You know, I mean, I don't know if it was a Thursday. I don't remember when we went last to
Yeah,
the
that
casino.
was really last minute.
Yeah, it was very short. We were only there for a few hours and then we headed back. But it was
I think
fun.
I lost like $40.
I think I made 60. So
Nice.
we don't do the spontaneous trips anymore. Those were fun.
Those were fun.
Do you remember going to Austin when you got your cover up?
Yeah. Was that the one where I thought cows slept on their legs?
No, that was San Antonio on the way back.
Oh.
In fact, Irene wasn't with us on that. That was Brandon.
Oh.
No, Irene was with us when we went to Austin and you got your cover up and she got a tattoo as well.
Yeah.
And that was a last minute trip. Like literally during the afternoon, she texted me and then I think I texted you guys or we all texted something about it. And then I got off work at like 5 that day and then we drove down right after. And we didn't get back home until like 6 o'clock the next morning.
I don't know what that was about.
It was something, I'll tell you that.
That wasn't even that long ago, was it?
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I think her and Doug were already dating.
Yeah.
So I think she was already divorced from Rad.
Yeah. Was that the last trip we took with her?
I think so. Because in 2019 is when Brandon and us went to San Antonio.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, yeah, it would have been 2018 probably.
Yeah, I remember her talking about a policeman that she was dating.
Yeah.
And I remember her being on the phone with him actually that night. And
Yeah.
Ernesto, I was like, ooh, is it the policeman you're talking to? And Ernesto looks at me, he's like, shut up. What if it's not? And I was like, oh, I didn't do that.
Yeah, I think she had us pull over so she could get out of the car and talk to him on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a little schoolgirl. 30-year-old woman. No, I gotta get out of the car to talk to my boyfriend.
She had to be able to jump up and down and stuff. With giddiness.
She's so ridiculous. I think I've told you when she first told me about Doug, she was telling me, yeah, he says he doesn't like music. And I was like, break up with that psycho. Who doesn't like music? And then she married him, and now they have a kid.
Yep. That was that. Oh,
sad news to report to you.
I don't like sad
I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but they had to put Nikolai down.
I saw that.
She texted me the other day to let me know that they were going to do it because they think he had a stroke. And he just wasn't doing well. And I wanted to go see him, but I just didn't have the time. And she said that he started like going downhill pretty fast. So they were originally going to do it on Saturday, but then it got bumped up to Friday.
Yeah.
So I was bummed.
Yeah.
I told her to give him a bunch of pets and tell him how good a boy he is for me. Nikolai, not Doug. Just to clarify.
I needed that. Yeah. I was confused.
Yeah, I figured you might be. I think I don't have anything else to talk about today.
Yeah, I think we're good. Dustin, let's hit him with the outro.
Okay. Outro. Da da da.
Thank you, Little Dreamers, for listening. Little Dreamers is our Patreon plug for the $5 subscription tier. Where can they listen to us on, Dustin?
You can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Sirius, Pandora, and now on YouTube.
Yes, and you can find us on the socials thanks to Dustin on the TikToks, the Instagrams, and the Twitters.
Yeah, the chat book, the face snap, those things.
Right.
We also have an email address at whatamdreams@gmail.com where you can send us your dreams, and we will rate them accordingly and probably make fun of you a little bit.
Just a teensy bit. And again, thank you for listening from the bottom of our hearts, and bye!
Bye!
I don't remember what my notes were last time.
It was Beethoven-y last time. It was like dun 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 dun, something like that.
It wasn't dun 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 because everybody knows dun 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 dun.
It was similar.
It was 3 notes though. I remember that. It was like dun 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 or something like that.
Yeah. All right, cool. We did it.